Hey everybody, hello, this is Texas Danny coming to you from the Pizza Parlor in North Central Texas. Currently, today's date is Tuesday, April the 12th, 2022. It's about 3:45 in the afternoon here in Texas. This is a report on Australia and New Zealand and the waters between, the quantum changes that are occurring and that are happening now. This is a notification and advisory for all quantum affected in both Australia and New Zealand, all quantum affected, all Mandela affected in Australia and New Zealand about quantum movements that we are having. We have had Melbourne move its location in Australia. Some time ago I noted where Melbourne was, and Melbourne has moved. Repeat, Melbourne has moved in Australia, but we have vast changes all over Australia. Now, New Zealand is in flux right now. It's in some amazing circumstances. I would like to give credit and thanks to Ocean Girl Australia. That's right. I had seen the situation, and I hadn't come up with it exactly what the situation was, but I had observed it, and I knew something was off, but she was able to focus exactly what happened. And this, let me give you a briefing on this. The entire island of New Zealand, both the north and south section, are moving, currently moving. Now, in relations to those who are from the old Earth, who remember that New Zealand used to be much further north and Australia's further south. Australia used to be kind of off on just the slight northeast angle of the east coast of Australia. Now, what has happened is the North Island has reconfigured and moved over to the southwest. Note here Auckland, which is, I've got some observation points in Auckland, New Zealand on the North Island. And this is not New Zealand, but this is kind of giving you an idea of what it used to look like on the north side as opposed to here. So take this area out right here, okay? Move this down to approximately here, and it used to be a much more north-south kind of orientation. Well, it went from, in its relationships to the South Island, it went over and moved southwest. You see, take the pen, say this is, ignoring this for the moment, this is the South Island of New Zealand, there's Christchurch, North Island, Auckland. It moved over, where it used to be a much more north and south orientated position, and it came on over. I'd say 20 degrees, that's a rough guess. Also, these are not size exact, but I'm just giving you, it's approximately 1,000 miles. Even though the standards are not changing on me right now, I believe we do have closings. I believe we definitely have closings that the mileage is not being adjusted and changed for it. But again, New Zealand is still moving further towards Antarctica. And I believe on the long, slow track, it's going to either come much closer to Antarctica or actually join it. And this will come in with conjunctions with the time waves. Again, we have New Zealand has reconfigured and come over, moved southwest when it used to be configured different. Melbourne used to be in a slightly different location. It's moved several miles over. We have all the changes going up to Sydney. Alice Springs is a place to note. Also Perth, also the north areas of Australia. This is just an indication of how we're going to be going and how we're going to change. All quantum changes will update to the date they are shown. For example, this is now April the 12th, 2022, Tuesday. I just got April 2022. Well, if you're looking at this, say in the year, let's say 2100 exactly. Let's say it's the dawn of the 22nd century. It's the year 2100 exactly, and it's April. The maps, the information is going to update. The pictures, except for my hand drawings, should not update. They still should see the same. But these are the changes, and I believe these are because of the radius and the scope closing in. This is just one section of an Earth, one example. You could go anywhere on Earth and come up with numerous examples easy. So please note how we are changing. Keep your eye on Tasmania, and of course of all of Australia, all of New Zealand. This area just to the east of Christchurch is a quantum area. That area, it used to come right up against the coast, and it came out, and it's indicative of the quantum tracks that are placed in here, and just east of Christchurch. So again, New Zealand is going to keep tracking, and this is a quantum advisory for all Australian quantum affected, Mandela affected, all New Zealand Mandela affected, quantum affected, that we are headed further southeast, and you are all tracking, at least for New Zealand. Separate that from Australia. We are tracking towards Antarctica. Thank you very much. Texas Danny out.